Hello and welcome to Critic Builds. We're back with another episode of Icarus, and we're playing the New Frontiers DLC, picking up a little bit after where we left off in episode 1. We are going to be playing through here on Open World, and I took the opportunity to gather a bunch of materials while it was nighttime, and we've used those materials to build out all of the crafting benches here that we had available. So I'm going to go ahead and do the very first thing that we need to do, which is get this water reservoir, rain reservoir out, because it is raining right now. And this is going to let us start collecting water that is safe to drink, which was a big problem last episode. We don't need to be getting dysentery anymore. I have also built the oxygen bladder and the water skin. And we have an oxide dissolver, which is the oxygen side of the equation here. So I'm going to go ahead. I always like to set this kind of right inside the door, since we tend to need our oxygen refilled pretty often early on. I'm going to go ahead and put the oxide in here, and then we need to also get a bit of sulfur, which I happen to mine nearby. These are all very common resources, no big surprises in how any of this stuff works. And then I just went through and built a skinning bench so we can start getting more resources from animals if we feel the need, and a textiles bench, which is going to let us build some armor and I believe a backpack. It's been a little bit since we played Icarus, so I'm still trying to remember what all of the benches do, and they've made a lot of quality of life improvements here. But yeah, you can see all the different animals we can skin and get a little bit more resources. We were able to collect some furs here finally from the, I believe I had one of those elk deer looking things run by, and it was covered in fur. So that's going to let me build a bedroll if I can get some sticks. I think we had some sticks in here. There we go. And this means I won't have to play through another night. That's the main reason I did some of the stuff off camera, is it was the middle of the night, so I just used the opportunity in the nighttime to collect some resources in the dark right around the base. I didn't go very far, and if I hold F, I can set our spawn point, so now we know we're going to spawn back at our base next time if we do die and need to do that. Let's get a few more things here. You can see our food is starting to deteriorate quite quickly, and in order to combat that, I have this salting station that I'm going to put down over here. And I think any food items that you have, you can just apply salt to. And we did manage to pick up some salt. I just using the crafting bench here as kind of a place to store all of our stuff. If I put the salt in here, and then like this cooked meat, I think I should be able to salt that. And now it will not spoil nearly as fast. So I'm going to do that to all of our food here. There we go. Now that should last a lot longer, which will be awesome for us. I'm going to come in here and grab our oxygen bladder and equip that. That should keep us going. In fact, let's just top that off before we go out on our adventure here. The goal for today is to go find iron so we can get our missions going. So I'm going to go ahead and fill our water skin with what water we did manage to get. Not a lot, but it should keep us going for a little bit. I do have these watermelons just in case. And we'll get that oxygen bladder reinstalled here. The last two things I've got in my inventory is the herbalism bench. We're going to put this bench down right here. There we go. I will eventually be able to make some tonics and such here. I don't really have all of the required components just yet, so I'm not too worried about that. And then the last bench that I have is the fireplace. I'm realizing right now I don't have enough room to actually put a fireplace down in our house. So I'm going to leave that here as we go out on our adventure. And I'm going to put the rest of these miscellaneous materials in here. I'm going to keep some bones because I need that to repair my bone knife and potentially make more arrows. I've got plenty of arrows, though. We've got some other meats I should probably toss in and cook up in the fire while we're gone. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Being honest, I probably don't need both stacks of this food, so I'm going to put one stack in here. It is going to decompose. I've made a bit too much food for what we actually need. That's all right. I think we're all good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and find a cave, because caves are where you get your metals and such. So I'm thinking generally caves are around the outside on these big cliff walls. There was the cliffs down by the river there that might have some caves as well. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to run west here right into this cliff. That's one of those elk things I was talking about. Those are covered in fur, which made getting to our bedroll quite easy. So we're going to come down around the hill here. We're going to cut over, and I'm going to start heading, I think, to the south of this cliff face and see if we can't find ourselves a cave. As we go along, I am going to take the opportunity to hit another one of these. I do want to be able to make some armor here soon. And so getting a little bit more leather and fur and such is going to help us out with that, I think. And these things do have quite a bit of that. And we've got some different kinds of meat available now. So we'll have to start taking a look at recipes. I can't wait to get some iron, as that will unlock the cooking bench, and we'll be able to start cooking up some real food with some good recipes. But for the time being, I want to focus on using our iron to get into, to get into making the radio so we can start doing the missions in open world. That's the biggest feature of the new DLC map here that I'm most interested in. It's what really turned me off to the open world gameplay that we did in our previous playthrough of the game. And so if we're going to be able to start doing missions here in open world, I think that's going to be the part that really gets me re-hooked on Icarus. And this is not a cave, but a path through, it looks like, into another biome potentially. So I'm not sure I want to go too far this way, but we are going to step through just to see what's over here. Maybe we'll get an achievement or something for stepping foot on a different biome. I don't know. I don't want to jump off of this cliff, that's for sure. I didn't bring the materials with me to necessarily get back up here, but I can certainly see that the terrain is changing, the trees are changing, and this just looks very toxic. Oh yes, acid showers. That sounds just lovely. So this is the swamp biome, I believe, and we're not going to go here. We're going to go back. We're going to stay in our nice, safer grasslands biome to start out with, and we'll come adventure in this area once we've gotten a little bit more established, I think. All right, we have continued around. That opening was right over there, so I haven't gone that far. If we look at the map here, right in the part of G8, I have found a cave, and it does look like this could very well be a cave that might go through the mountain into a different biome at some point. I don't know. Looking at it, oh, it's a small cave, but we've got our friends, the worms. I did not miss these guys at all. I'd forgotten all about them, to be honest. Oops. There we go. So, now that we've reintroduced ourselves to that funness, we're going to go ahead and grab our arrows back here. I do see we've got some iron, so that's great. And I did remember to bring the stone furnace with us. This was something that I know a lot of people in my previous playthrough were always very frustrated with, is that I tried to transport all of the ore back with me rather than smelting it on site and bringing back the smelted ores. So we're going to go ahead and take advantage of that knowledge that we have from our previous playthrough and see if we can expedite things a little bit. Now, the thing I did forget is some sort of fuel. I'm not too worried about conserving coal. I've seen a lot of it on the surface now. So I am going to grab the coal that we see here, and we're going to use this as a fuel for that furnace. So let me get a couple more of these iron nodes real quick. We're going to get our first bit of iron cooking, and that's going to let us go back to the base and build the equipment necessary to get a better pickaxe and such going right away, because we don't want to be wasting any materials by using a lesser pickaxe. I believe all of the pickaxes provide a mining bonus outside of the initial one here. So let's go ahead and toss this iron ore in here now. And the coal down here as fuel requires shelter. Is a cave not count as shelter anymore? Or did I just not put it far enough in the cave, probably? Let's try that again. There we go. Now we're cooking some iron. We'll see how that goes. We might as well keep going just a little bit here while that's cooking. We've got a sulfur deep mining node. That's a second deep mining node we found. We have an aluminum one back at the base, and I read somewhere in the patch notes that aluminum will let us have structures that are as strong as stone now, and but much lighter, and so we can take those into the different biomes with us and erect a quick shelter, which will be pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and grab some iron ingots here and bring them back with us. I'm going to bring back a little bit of this iron because we will get a second one of these smelters going back at the base. And I'm going to run back and see how much iron we need to get started here. I'd really like to build a better pickaxe before we continue in there. So let's get that underway, and we'll be back here in just a couple minutes. So it looks like in order to get to our anvil, which is where I believe we're going to make our upgraded tools, we need to get to 40 iron, which is not too bad. We'll get there pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and build another stone furnace here, though. So we've got one at the base. And then we're going to do what I forgot to do before we left on that little adventure, which is double check what it's going to take to build some, some armor. So let's check here. I've got leather armor recipes, so we can go ahead and start building that. And then I also got a leather backpack, which I really want to build. But I don't want to use leather to make rope. I think there's another recipe for rope. Yeah, here we go. We can do it with fiber. How many do I need? 8 rope. Let's see if we've got enough fiber to make 8 rope. I'll go ahead and place this bench while we're waiting. I think I can find enough room for a stone furnace here beside the herbalism bench. Not quite. Let me see. Since we're not using the herbalism bench for anything yet, let me pull that out. I'm going to put this down first. I'm going to try and get it nice and close to this chest. And then I bet I can get this down next to it. There we go. All right, drop some iron in there. We'll go ahead and use some wood for fuel for the time being. Activate that. We'll let that go. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to get our leather backpack. This is going to give us some more capacity for hauling stuff around. And it reduces the carry weight of ore, which is always nice. And then while that's going, we're going to go ahead and get our leather armor, which is going to give us some miscellaneous resistances here. And we don't have enough to make all the armor just yet, but we're getting there. A couple pieces gets us started. And with all that stuff out of the way, a little bit of base management here, we're going to head on back to that cave. I dropped a marker on the map before we ran away, so I should be able to find my way right back there with that handy compass symbol up at the top. And checking back in here, we've got a total of 48 iron already cooked up, which is awesome. That's going to be enough to get the anvil, but then we're obviously going to need some more to make the tools. So we're going to go ahead and just bite the bullet and take out some more iron while we're in here and see how far we get. I'm obviously not going to be able to get all the resources out of this cave because I think the resources besides iron and copper require us to get to the iron pickaxe first. I've seen some, I think it was aluminum on the wall here. There might be some other advanced resources as well, so we're just gonna go after the iron for the time being. Like I said, I don't know if we need copper for much to begin with. We'll definitely get all of the resources out of here before we're done, though. I just wanted to get back in here and get stuff before the cave worms respawned. All right, we have mined until our pickaxe is pretty much broke. We've got a fair amount of iron, so I had to back up to the base here to see if we could go ahead and make this anvil bench and start creating some actual iron tools. While that's crafting, we're gonna just drop the seeds and we're putting the raw meat in here to just let it deteriorate. We'll use some of those things for other things at a later date here. And I'm gonna take this anvil out. I'm hoping I can just kind of squeeze it in here. There we go. And we're having some seriously bad weather at the moment. I'm hoping that we don't have to do too many repairs on the old base here. So we can make the pickaxe. I'm gonna make a handful of nails here as well. Go ahead and destroy the pickaxe. The nails are gonna let me upgrade my axe now as well, which will be awesome. And then we might as well grab the iron knife while we're here and have all of our tools modernized into the iron era, which should be awesome. Alrighty, so now that we've got that done, we've got a little bit of iron left. I'm going to grab what remains of these nails. I'm not sure what I need them for just yet. I'm going to put all of this in here, though. And I'm going to take a quick look here. I can't remember where that shortwave radio gets made from. Maybe that's not done from this bench. Oh, there it is. I'm just missing it. We need 8 more rope. So let's see how many we can make here. 8 it is. And then as long as I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and build a wooden crop plot just so that we can get some crops growing. That way I know I've got certain kinds of food right here at base if we need them. I don't know what that food's going to be just yet, but I'm going to toss that in here. And we're going to start crafting this short-range radio. I'm going to find a spot to put the wood crop plot. Maybe we'll put it right over here on the other side next to the water. And I don't know what we should plant over here. We seem to need a lot of fiber. It seems silly to use fiber seeds as our first seed, but I do want to kind of see how they work. So I'm going to put those right in there, and we're going to see what happens. Press to inspect. Growth modifiers. Sunlight and green thumb. So I'm getting a bonus for my skills. That's cool. It shows me how long until they're there. All right. It's pretty simple. It looks like the interface is a little bit improved, though, since last time we used it. And now the short-range radio's coming out. I believe this thing actually needed to be installed outside. Maybe not. Must be placed outside, yes. So let's go ahead and put that down right here.
Great work. Now that you have access to short-range radio, you'll be able to take on simple missions. Check the board to see what's available. There's always something to do. If you want to take on more complex assignments and get more time with yours truly, you'll have to craft an infrasonic relay device. UDA's way of keeping out fresh-foot prospectors looking for an early grave. Oh, almost forgot. One last thing. Cinetai have come up with a fancy new way of shipping your exotic hauls off-world. They're calling it the Orbital Exchange System, OES. Abandoning all your planet-side tech is a thing of the past, if you prefer. Chuck them in the pod, and it drops it all off at the station. Pretty cool, huh? It's free for now, while they're still testing the pods. Who knows how much cash they'll rake in from this later. OES schematics should be available, if you want to build one. Good luck, Prospector. Try not to die.
Well, that's encouraging and exciting. We've got our radio up and running. Now, he's saying that we're going to need something else to do more advanced missions, but I think if I push F to interact, I get this Nomad Exploration mission, which I'm pretty sure is this priority communication. This is one of the real missions that we need to do, and it's going to give me a reward of some dollars and some exotics, so we're going to go ahead and pick this up. I think this is our very first mission.
This place is pretty different from the rest of the Terra Zone, huh? Data on this section of Icarus is limited and mostly classified. What we do know is the terraforming did not work. On the topic of not working, I have a brand new bit of experimental garbage for you. The UDA's testing out some groundbreaking new tech. Some kind of AI. Think they can replace me with some 8-bit bag of bolts with attitude, hardly pay me anything anyway. Simple? Yeah, simply not needed. It's not like I'm some damn Luddite, but hell, I'm more valuable than a talking toaster. Oh, sorry. It'll be in an OES pod nearby. Go grab the thing.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do that. I'm always amused by the humor interacting with this guy, Saul.
What the hell is that? This damn place. You can either take it out or sneak past it. Either way, we need that chip. Oh, looks like land wasn't the only thing adapted around here. UDA hasn't been very forthcoming with information, but I've heard rumors. Some of them are locals. Some seem to be altered versions of Earth wildlife. All of them weird, and probably dangerous. I wouldn't venture too far out unless you're equipped to defend yourself.
Good advice. Prototype UDA communication upgrade. A USB drive with the plans for an upgraded communication device. Got it.
All right, you got the stupid thing. Go ahead and plug it into your short-range radio to get it online. This is the third version they've worked on, and it seems only good for basic errands. So, you'll still have me around for a while. Let's see just how awful it really is.
This guy cracks me up. All right. Unable to request a new mission.
Not just...
Simplified Mission Prospector Liaison version 3, connection verified. Refer to me as Simple.
Bloody stupid robot.
My function is to guide you through basic assignments for the UDA. Communication is one way.
Not much of a replacement then. Bucket of volts.
Your first mission is to cultivate and harvest one tomato.
Seriously?
This frequency will be reserved for exclusive automated prospector guide use, terminating redundant connections.
Hold on. What did you call me, you stupid?
Sample quality and composition will be used to calibrate APG for future assignments. You will be provided the applicable hybrid seed from an OES in your vicinity. Samples consisting of incorrect genetic material will be rejected. Please begin.
Well then, they've gotten rid of my funny guy. I'm not exactly happy about that. I'm gonna check this. We're already halfway done growing that. So we need to collect a tomato from a farming plant. There's another doohickey. Oh, it shows up on the minimap. That's easy. Let's go ahead and grab that. Oh, and they gave us a wooden crop plot for it. How handy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and slap this one down right next to the other one. I still wish that these would snap to each other. That's all right. And tomato seeds.
Good start, Prospector. Here, have some praise. Well done. Congratulations. I always knew you could do it.
That's not encouraging. This is giving me Portal vibes. We're gonna go ahead and keep dropping these things when I see them. We need the leather at this point. I might be able to finish getting our leather armor made now. All right, we did indeed have the resources necessary to finish out the rest of our armor, which should also give us a set bonus, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit more health regen and stamina. So that's going to be awesome. I think we're pretty well good to go here. We're going to be able to start moving into things like the next tier with the machining bench and such. Next, that's what we need copper for, the carpentry bench. That'll be a good thing to get up and running here shortly too. I can't remember what I need to make epoxy. A mortar and pestle probably. So we'll pick up some silica ore on our way by here as well. And I think the plan is going to be to run out and finish mining out that cave before we forget about it. And then we will return to doing some missions here. We're waiting for tomatoes to grow anyway, so might as well... Those things are painful, and we're bleeding. Might as well use one of our bandages. Nice to have them on hand. And I don't like running around in the dark. Since we went to all the trouble to finally build our bedroll, we might as well take advantage of that and go to sleep until the morning. But we do need a fire for that. All right, I'm gonna run back and get the rest of the stuff out of the mine. We'll catch y'all in a minute.
Has been severely injured and returned to orbit for treatment. They have requested help in locating and escorting their pet blueback that was abandoned during extraction. You are advised that once the aforementioned creature has been escorted back to the contractor's encampment, you may make use of any of the supplies left behind. Additionally, the contractor wanted the following message passed to you. Please save Daisy. She saved me more times than I can count. It's the least I can do for her. The contractor currently lacks a functional trachea. I did my best to substitute. You may begin.
Oh man. Okay, well, we just got a rescue mission from the AI while we were out here walking to the caves. I'll probably mine the cave real quick and go out there and see if we can do that mission. I didn't capture all of the dialogue there. I wasn't expecting anything to happen, so I have to say so far I'm loving the new mission system being integrated into Open World. It feels so much better. So yeah, we're gonna mine this out and then we're gonna go and rescue Daisy.
Acceptable maturity and is ready for processing. Please place it in the OES pod for retrieval.
It looks like our tomato finished growing while we were out here too. So I am gonna have to start leaving the recordings on if the mission system is gonna have things moving so fast for us here, which is a good thing, I suppose. Don't want to be missing out on any of the fun. In this case, though, it's just a tomato that's grown, so I'm not terribly worried about it. We're pretty full up weight-wise, so I'm letting a little bit of this iron cook up here, and we're gonna head on back up to the base and complete the tomato quest and see about rescuing Daisy. We've made it back up to the base here. I do need some more water. Hopefully we've got some more in our little rain catcher there, but before we get into that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the iron cooking here. I'll drop the copper off behind it, and we might as well drop the gold in there. We did end up picking up that one little gold vein that we had. Let's go ahead and turn in our tomato quest here and see what we get. Come back over here. I can harvest these and harvest those. It says collect the... Did I not collect the tomato? Oh, it looks like it's bugged out actually, because I just harvested that and didn't get anything into my inventory. Well, that's unfortunate. Let me go ahead and toss these back out into there. At least they gave us more than one seed. I'm quite disturbed. Oh, I pressed F. I held F down to remove plant. For some reason, I thought that that was the harvest button. I probably just did that incorrectly. Well, we're going to chuck that up to our bad here, most likely. And I'm going to go ahead and top off our supplies here. And we're going to go do the other quest while we wait for that tomato to grow for a second time. However, I think this is going to be a great place to wrap up today's episode, and we'll be back next time for more quests in Icarus and New Frontiers. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Ketrick, out.